Ladies and gentlemen, good morning. It's your brother Bolo here. Now we're in this space again. Hey y'all, please remember to hit the like button. I know y'all come in sometimes and y'all forget, but the main thing, man, y'all gotta hit the like button, man, and share the live stream. Come on now, stop playing. Support. The like button is free, heard? So, ladies and gentlemen, we're here. Good morning. Listen, man, I had to do this early. My goodness, Mr. Patterson, really came and set the record straight. Big up BOJ TV. Now we have to talk about it, ladies and gentlemen. Please hit the like button and share the live with 10 people. Alright, everybody that come in, share the live with 10 new people here. Yeah, man, that is a wonderful way to, support the platform. I understand. Now, this speech, this is pretty much a raw reaction. I did not get to listen to it, so we're going to listen to it together. So, please, indulge my animation. Indulge my animation, my animated responses to what might be said, right? And I wanted to start 9 o'clock, so I'm glad it's just a little bit after 9. When I went to my bed last night, I literally said, you know what, this reaction, I need to start this reaction 9 o'clock because Friday is a busy day. Uploads that I have to upload, plus I know I'm going to need to go live later on tonight again. The news cycle always turns up on a Friday. I don't know why. Every weekend is the same thing. You know what I mean? So welcome everybody. Good morning. Hope all is well with you and your family. Hope you guys are doing well. Hope you had a wonderful start to your weekend. You know what I mean? And just, stay covered, man, because trust me, the spiritual side of things, cannot be understated. Alright? So, without any further ado, let's get right into the content. Remember, guys, the Kroll report, demanding of the Kroll report released is super important. And we have to, I'm just going to leave that up there every time I start to kind of remind us, Alright, remember to follow me on all platforms and like and share the video, all that good stuff, yeah? Alright, so take this off the screen, and this. Let's get into the content, man.
James Patterson. We say PJ.
Thank you for granting me the privilege of age to make my presentation seated. Symposium Chair, Party Leader Mark Golding, officers of the People's National Party, members of Parliament, candidates, Your Worship the Mayor, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, last but obviously not least, comrades. A few weeks ago, I stepped out of the pavilion in Montego Bay. That was in response to an invitation from the Outreach Committee of Region 6. As you have heard, the purpose of the Outreach Commission, of which I was the founding chair, its purpose was to extend the party's span beyond its core membership. Please remember, we are the national party. I've been watching the sustained campaign to rewrite history and to denounce the exemplary record of the PNP during the decades of the 70s and the 90s. They have sought to demonize successive PNP administrations and to vilify its leaders, Comrade Michael Manley, Comrade Portia Simpson Miller, and in my case, because Mr. Percy had no mercy in taking the trifecta.
Embarrassing!
Their motive is clear. They want to falsify history and poison the minds of those in the electorate who were not aware of what happened and when, and who haven't made the effort to learn. Father Asphalt is familiar with that portion of the scriptures which says, to everything there's a time and a season. Time come to set the record straight. Time come to remind Jamaica of our memorable accomplishments, lest we forget. Those of you who know me realize that personal attacks or abuse have never prevented me from doing what duty demands, or forced me into silence when my voice must be heard, and they never will. I have to ask myself, my presentation in Montego Bay, when I refrained from drawing out the political long handle, as I previously used to do, what is it that caused some persons to be so upset? Was it that I had mentioned that at a time when it was not required by law, I made my returns to the Integrity Commission public? I started with 5 bank accounts and I ended with 5. I reminded the meeting that there was somebody who said they were going to make Jamaica safe and we could sleep with our windows and doors open. And I said, nobody in Jamaica can feel safe in the present situation. Who can question that? I said not only are the levels of crime high, intolerably high, but the ferocity of those crimes is without precedent. Right. And you only have to think of what has taken place in Clarendon, both in the hills and on the plains. Crime can't be a political football. And I said then, and I repeat today, we are encouraged somewhat that there's a drop this year, but we have to go much further. I would have thought that the response to that statement would be to ask, how do we get total national unity to fight the monster of crime? How do we make sure that the entire nation gives support to the security forces and the agencies in the relentless fight? Because that is absolutely necessary. I said our roads are in a state of dilapidation, of disrepair never seen before. And for a boy who come from country, I said not even in the days of pure rock stone roads. I asked what has happened to the road maintenance fund that we built. I have said we build highways and we know how to build them. Look at the new highway to St. Thomas. One person who has some knowledge of the law.
Embarrassing. We need some milk.
In attacking me, asked, how is it that in my time we never completed or advanced constitutional reform? And I remember when I started to practice and I went across the Norman Manley's chambers, taking his wig and gown out of locker room number 1. He said to me, refrain from asking a witness a question if the answers will destroy your case.
Yeah, man. Yeah, man, we can't believe, man.
How does that apply?
Member say, yeah, knock them hard.
Say what we did. Before
everybody knows you will not out of president.
He had started the process which allowed me in May of 1992 to set up a constitutional commission charged with revision of the Constitution, chaired by the Honorable Mr. Justice Sewell Carter of blessed memory. First thing, if you're going to do national consultations, don't ask an activist politician to lead the process. They went all around the island, genuine consultations. They made recommendations. The Jamaica Labour Party did not sign the report. The work was completed, chaired by Dr. Lloyd Barnett. When that was done, I set up a parliamentary committee chaired by the Honorable David Core. They took it
exclusive, put them on blast.
The line towards the table.
How would this call me while my life, man? For my phone, man.
After this process, which has just
yeah, my life and I react to peaches, but they can't hear you.
Any changes they have made are in one direction and one direction only. They want to vest more power in the executive arm. They want to vest more power in the Prime Minister. They want to enable certain amendments to proceed without 2/3 majority in both houses. I don't have to say anything here. Of those crimes is without precedent. And you only have to think.
People on there. Sorry about that. Hey, thank you for calling me, Blacker. Big up yourself. But they are disturbing speech. My bad. I never realized in my life. But they are multitasking. My mic open. Sorry about that. Let me go back. We don't want to miss nothing from Mr. Patterson.
That I had mentioned that at a time when it was not required by law, I made my returns to the Integrity Commission public.
BOJ TV. You can call me now. No? Number 1-876-451-6535. If it's a problem for use your content, we not a problem for not use, you know. So let me know. Cause I see content I use everywhere on the internet and all I blog of them, so let me know. And under the Fair Use Act, so let me know if it's a problem for me use it. Cause I give my commentary, you know. So let me know. If you number there right there, so you can call me right now. Right now. With all due respect. What going, Sonia? I think we back. Noreen, what's up? Andrea Hunt, what's up? Splash did you walk one? Me there wait pan BOJ TV if you call me, you know. Florence Hamilton, big up. I have no. I think them contacts supposed to depend on something. What are they? Let me find.
Most time.
Big up
2,000, 3,000 food done.
Hold on, how are they?
Let's head over to Portland now, where some.
That's not it.
Yes, Pleasant Morning.
That's not it. We say all, me know say all is well now, man. The current just ship out a while ago, you see me? Why everybody a react like that in our chat? Yo, listen. You have to know the laws on YouTube, you know. Anything we put out in the public, there's ways how to share it while staying within the guidelines. So me not have to show nobody face. We can just react to it with the audio alone. That's our problem. You understand what I say? A simple thing, man. Cause me give me number. If you don't want to call me, I don't know if it's a female or male. Me don't know. I don't know. First time I see them in my chat. First time I see BOJ TV in my chat. First time. And that's how them say. So, let's see, hold on there. So we can't find the number. And I just give them a number a while ago. I'm going to call him. So let me call him. Where is it? Where is it? Give me a second. Alright, see it, yeah? Alright. I'm going to find the number on this. I didn't know that. One thing I learn now. Alright, see it, yeah? Number what? 9446. 894-4665. Black, I big up yourself now. You're watching up. 894-4655. What's up? 894-4665. 894-4665. Alright. As me I said though, welcoming back good people. Bolo, you don't hear what Horace Shank says. They are looking for 35 seats. Listen. Them are gonna say all type of things, you know. Where you see God, when God say it is done, it is done. There's nothing you can do. There's absolutely nothing you can do. I'm telling you. Anyway, let me go back to this.
Most time. Shalaban.
Let me go back to this.
Was it that?
Let me go back to this. We just have to release the crow report. That's all we have to do. make sure someone put this by a faster speed. Guys, stay within the fair use guidelines. I always stay within the fair use guidelines. I'm not really worried about it. I always stay within the fair use guidelines. Hey, me tell you, this is a teachable moment. You see, we learn a lot from other YouTubers. You know. This is a teachable moment, ladies and gentlemen. You see, a lot of the times I get a lot of criticism in my comment section about content. Alright? No, I don't see it as that, you know. I really don't see it as fight, you know. Me not see nobody a fight me. The content is their content, so you know, probably they don't want nobody use this as specific content. Yeah. You understand what I say? And in them the case, they like what most content creators do, then put them have them for members only. So people who are members and them alone can actually view the content. You get me I say? But the thing about me is I always give the content creator them credit. I always do that. We even show them page and say go and subscribe. Feel me I do it? So me know how this thing go. Or should go. Anyway, see that? I can call him now. Alright, we can call him. Call BOJ TV. I don't know if they might watch me same way, but obviously I'm alive. Let's see if it got you. Yes, oh, it got you, okay. I'll call him then. Well, my call the number with they on them with they on the always advertise, but me not get them. Me not get them. I try one more time. I'm gonna try one more time. Well, I tried. I got the screenshots right here. I got everything right here, all the messages. I tried to call, no answer. I'm just gonna move on. Yeah. I'm just gonna move on. Alright, so ladies and gentlemen, I'm gonna do this next segment because Mr. Patterson said a lot. He spoke about the infrastructure, he spoke about I heard snippets about the economy, of course. Even the Integrity Commission, he spoke about that as well. You understand? And again, Always give credit where credit is due. You guys can go over to BOJ TV and catch it. Catch the live stream, the replay yourself. You understand? I am going to be stopping. I am going to be giving my commentary. So it's not, and I'm also going to speed it up. I got the music playing in the background. All the things that keep me within the guidelines of fair use and YouTube policies. Alright? So let's go. Alright, so let's hear what Mr. Patterson has to say. Like I said before, you guys can go to BOJ TV to find the original clip. Saying, here we go. And let the record reflect that BOJ TV came in the chat and said I should contact him or her, and I did that. I had no response. Alright, in regards to the usage of them content. So I'm just gonna play the audio. Yeah, I'm just gonna play the audio. Alright, so there's the platform. This is the live stream. Which one of them? That one here? 12 hours ago? Yeah. This one right here. So let's get the record straight. Lest we forget. Alright. The page you are on is trying to send me to Nationwide, huh? What kind of one is that? What the hell? Anyway, yeah, that is it. Just want to make that clear. Alright, so let me take this off the screen. Yeah. Take this off the screen. Alright! Take that off the screen. Where is my... Yeah, here we go. Follow me on all platforms, ladies and gentlemen. Follow me on all platforms. Yes. And of course, release the Crow Report. Let's hear what Mr. Patterson has to say.
With the privilege of age to make my presentation seated. Symposium Chair, Party Leader Mark Golding, officers of the People's National Party, members of Parliament, distinguished guests not least. A few weeks ago, I stepped out of the pavilion in Montego Bay.
Yes.
That was in response to an invitation from the Outreach Committee of Region 6. As you have heard, the purpose of the Outreach Commission, of which I was the founding chair, its purpose was to extend the party's span beyond its core membership. Please remember, we are the national party. I've been watching the sustained campaign to rewrite history and to denounce the exemplary record of the PNP during the decades of the 70s and the 90s. They have sought to demonize successive PNP administrations.
In other words, JLP, all I want to will come out. Marlon Morgan, fit when name, Apka, all I want to will come out. Even Prime Minister of Jamaica. We love to talk about the 18 year. All I want to will come out. Stop the capping.
Stop the cap.
Stop the capping.
Stop the cap right now. Stop the cap. No bullshit, bro.
And to vilify its leaders, Comrade Michael Manley, Comrade Portia Simpson Miller, and in my case, because Mr. Percy had no mercy in taking the trifecta. Their motive is clear. They want to falsify history and poison the minds of those in the electorate who were not aware of what happened and when,
Good morning, Sassy81.
and who haven't made the effort to learn. Father, as Paul is familiar with that portion of the scriptures which says to everything there's a time and a season. Time come to set the record straight.
We're not here. Let's for that.
Time come to remind Jamaica of our memorable accomplishments, lest we forget.
Lest we forget.
Those of you who know me realize that personal attacks or abuse have never prevented me from doing what duty demands, or forced me into silence when my voice must be heard. And they never will. I have to ask myself, my presentation in Montego Bay, when I refrained from drawing out the political long handle, as I previously used to do, what is it that caused some persons to be so upset?
What really going on?
Was it that I had mentioned that at a time when it was not required by law, I made my returns to the Integrity Commission public?
That's what did it. That's what did it.
Embarrassing. He needs some milk.
Hey, Patterson lick a nail right on the head. That is exactly, in my opinion, what did it. When you said that, man, listen, they was like, what? How you gonna throw them shots? But hey, the truth should not be an offense. If this man at a time when they did not need to you know, let their statutory declaration be public, he was publicizing his. He was ahead of the time. He was that was brilliant. That showed us a level of integrity compared to Andrew Holness not wanting to comply with the Integrity Commission. It's embarrassing.
Embarrassing. He needs some milk.
Taking the Integrity Commission to court.
Embarrassing.
Come on, man. All those factors, right? Even suing the government. Bro. Carol. Oh, sorry, Carol. It's fixed. It's fixed. It's the same audio. We're going to hear what Mr. Patterson is saying either way. Yeah, moving forward, but just not gonna use no something there from BOJ TV. Moving forward. I understand. Simple. Understand? But at the same time, this what I'm doing now, this is me giving my commentary. You understand? It's not, because anybody can have a problem with you using the actual content, you know. You hear me, I do it? Make we talk can have a problem. Anybody can have a problem. So the way I'm doing it now, it literally fixes all problems. It's the audio being played. It's not. Yeah, there's no visual. All right, guys. So I wouldn't really stress about that. All right, I wouldn't stress about it. It's the same audio.
I started with 5 bank accounts and I ended with 5.
Oh, damn!
Emotional damage.
Damn! Oh my God, Lord have mercy. Hey, you ain't gotta do him like that. Yeah, you had to do them like that. You know, I think I should have played this before I started. Wait a minute.
Tonight,
Wait a minute.
we are going to witness
Oh my
the
God.
most anticipated match
Hey,
in the
yo.
history of professional wrestling
Mr. Patterson, you gotta
for
chill,
the
sir.
heavyweight championship of the world.
That's the chill, my brother. Sheesh.
Are you ready?
Man, it's getting hot. It's getting hot, man.
Wrestling fans, are you ready?
Hey, Ryan, what up? You ready?
For the thousands in attendance and the millions watching around the world
Come on now, stop playing.
from the capital city of the United States of America, Washington, D.C., ladies and gentlemen, let's get ready to rumble!
Let's go. What you say, Mr. Patterson? What did he say? What did he just say, bro? Lord have mercy.
On public.
Lord have mercy. Play that back.
I had mentioned that at a time when it was not required by law, I made my returns to the Integrity Commission public. I started with 5 bank accounts and I ended with 5.
How much Andrew Holness started? 28? How much am I Henry? No, I'm just asking. I'm just asking.
All lies will be exposed. That's all. And anyone who takes that the wrong way,
Yeah.
know why they take it the
Yeah,
wrong way.
talk to him. Let him know. Let him know.
I
Hey, man,
reminded
PJs are
the
savage.
meeting that there was somebody who said they were going to make Jamaica safe and we could sleep with our windows and doors
Lord
open.
have mercy.
And I said nobody in Jamaica can feel safe in the present situation.
Nobody. That's facts.
Who can question that?
That's facts.
I said not only are the levels of crime high, intolerably high,
Too high.
but the ferocity of those crimes is without precedent. And you only have to think of what has taken place in Clarendon, both in the hills and on the plains.
True, man.
Crime can't be a political football. And I said then, and I repeat today, we are encouraged somewhat that there's a drop this year, but we have to go much further.
True.
I would have thought that the response to that statement would be to ask, how do we get total national unity to fight the monster of crime? How do we make sure that the entire nation gives support to the security forces and the agencies in the relentless fight? Because that is absolutely necessary. I said
No, I don't know what the response was, but clearly the fact that he's mentioning it, that means it's not the response that he heard from. And this is perfect because Andrew Holness is on the screen with Mark Bowling, and because this is the conversation that's going to be had until election is over with. All right, who is the best individual for the job? Which government is the best government for the job? That's going to be the conversation. If you know me, I deal with 1 second. Soon call it back. Oh, BOJ TV. Okay, all right, cool. BOJ TV, so them all call me back. That's good. But yeah, let's continue.
roads are in a state of dilapidation, of disrepair never seen before. And for a boy who come from country, I said not even in the days of pure rock stone roads. I asked, what has happened to the road maintenance fund that we built. I have said we build highways and we know how to build them. Look at the new highway to St. Thomas.
Embarrassing. He needs some milk.
One person who has some knowledge of the law in attacking me asked, how is it that in my time we never completed or advanced constitutional reform? And I remember when I started to practice and I went across the Norman Manley's chambers taking his wig and gown out of locker room number 1. He said to me, refrain from asking a witness a question if the answers will destroy your case. How does that apply? I'm going to say what we did. Before Michael departed, he had started the process which allowed me in May of 1992 to set up a constitutional commission charged with revisions of the Constitution, chaired by the Honorable Mr. Justice Sewell Carr of blessed memory. First thing, if you're going to do...
Alright, ladies and gentlemen, me just get an update. Big up BOJ TV. Him say, or she say, I don't know if I him or she, Lord have mercy. Them say, me just don't black out the, what you call it? The something at the bottom of the screen. But you see, to all my, may I explain to them, say, to all my frame stay, me set the frame of the video them at the same frame of the frame where I look on. So that's why I black out, because when with Bolo and them something they're in front of it, so it is behind it virtually. If you understand what I say. If you don't understand what I say, see, look, you see my frame, which is the display where I look on the screen, right? It blocks out the video. It block out the video. But I understand, if that is the stipulation, hey, we don't have no problem.
The Constitution.
Hold on there. Yeah, as me I explain, ladies and gentlemen, big up on BOJ TV. That's why, you see me, it's not that person who dropped the gun. You understand what I say? That's why I try to call to get clarity, because you know what I see, the content all over the place, so I say, you don't understand how I go on, Yeah, I don't really understand how I go on, but no, me understand. So me I show no where BOJ TV I say, see? Me I show no where I say. Let me see if I this me I use.
Chaired by, charged with the process, which allowed me in May of the process. I'm going to say what we did.
Alright, so I believe I'm at the wrong one.
National consultations. Charged with all question if the answers will destroy your case. To practice. And I went across the Norman Manley's chambers taking his...
Alright, so anyway, I don't remember which one of them when I use, but I'm going to fix it. I'm going to fix it. Alright, hold on, let me take out this. So, where BOJ TV is in, if you notice, when you see all of the BOJ TV stuff them, alright, I'm going to show you, I'm going to see, look. You see the frame? I'm going to small up the frame so you can see this. That's all is the issue. They want this for sure. That right there, sir. The number, they want the contact number to be shown. So, that's all. Shout out to BOJ TV, man. Salute. I got no problem with that. Alright. Hey, big up yourself, let's get lyrical. Splash the respect. So that's it. BOJ TV just wants this part right here so to show. So I ain't got no problem with that. You know, I just, like I said, I always fit the frame. If you notice there's a dark spot right there, yeah, so I just fit the frame so you can see everything. You know what I'm saying? So now I'm gonna put him right there. Because a lot of the stuff that's being said is directed at him. Let's continue. Hey, let's continue, ladies and gentlemen. Lord have mercy. So we got BOJ TV. Alright, let's go. Let me see if we can catch back Mr. Patterson when they have him.
The meeting that there was somebody who said they were going to make Jamaica safe.
Yes, this
and
part.
we could sleep with our windows and doors
Open. Right.
And I said, nobody in Jamaica can feel safe in the present situation.
Nobody.
Who can question that? I said not only are the levels of crime high, intolerably high, but the ferocity of those crimes is without precedent. And you only have to think of what has taken place in Clarendon, both in the hills and on the plains. Crime can't be a political football. And I said,
boom, this part is important as well. The contact number of BOJ TV. See? So it has shown now, so me and we're good. Alright, people, so big up BOJ TV again.
Then, and I repeat today, we are encouraged somewhat that there's a drop this year, but we have to go much further.
Facts.
I would have thought that the response to that statement would be to ask, how do we get total national unity to fight the monster of crime?
Come on, talk to him.
How do we make sure that the entire nation gives support to the security forces and the agencies in the relentless fight? Because that is absolutely necessary. I said our roads are in a state of dilapidation.
Embarrassing.
Of disrepair never seen before. And for a boy who come from country, I said not even in the days of pure rockstone roads. I asked what has happened to the road maintenance fund that we built. I have said we build highways and we know how to build them. Look at the new highway to St. Thomas.
Embarrassing.
One person who has some knowledge of the law in attacking me asked, how is it that in my time we never completed or advanced constitutional reform? And I remember when I started to practice and I went across the Norman Manley's chambers.
Somebody in the chat, please tell me who I'm talk about. I'm all in Malawi for it. Because she primarily responsible for the constitutional reform. No. Has she actually said that? I'm just asking because I don't know. Who said that? Who said that, ladies and gentlemen? Y'all know?
Taking his wig and gown out of locker room number 1.
Where you say, Sonia, Lord, you tell me say, Marlon Mallow had the audacity, the unmitigated gall to speak on PJ Patterson. What has Marlon Mallow Fort done for this country? What needle has she moved outside of wanting to change the constitution to take out impeachment, any accountability to parliamentarians? Want to keep us with the slave master of the Privy Council. What has she done for this country? Nora, how you doing? Good morning. No, seriously, what has she done? I'll wait. I'll wait.
And I remember when I started to practice, and I went across the Norman Manley's chambers, taking his wig and gown out of locker room number 1. He said to me, refrain from asking a witness a question if the answers will destroy your case. How does that apply? I'm going to say what we did. Before Michael departed, he had started the process which allowed me in May of 1992 to set up a constitutional commission charged with revisions of the Constitution, chaired by the Honorable Mr. Justice Sewell Carter of blessed memory. First thing, if you're going to do national consultations, don't ask an activist politician to lead the process.
Ooh, shots fired. Listen that again. What did he say?
National consultations, don't ask an activist politician to lead the process.
What is an activist politician? Because he says when you're doing consultation, you should not ask. He said you should not ask an activist politician. What is an activist politician? I'm gonna look that up. An activist politician. What is that? That sounds very interesting. See, man, listen. Activist politician. Political activist. Political activism and overview science direct topic is defined as an organized effort by individuals or group to bring about social and political change through actions such as protests. Okay, so what is a activist politician? Is that the reverse? Interesting. No, you see this gentleman here, Mr. Patterson. This is what he's been doing all of me knowing Mr. Patterson and listening to him. He has been teaching me stuff or opening my mind up to go to look in the dictionary or Google something. I'm telling you. What is an activist politician? I don't think we're going to find it today, but somebody said Andrew Holness are going to end with 70 accounts. And no, so when I go on body night chat, let me continue. Hit up the like button and share the live.
They went all around the island, genuine consultations. They made recommendations. The Jamaica Labour Party did not sign the report. The work was completed, chaired by Dr. Lloyd Barnett. When that was done, I set up a parliamentary committee chaired by the Honorable David Core. They took it way down the line towards the tape. After this process, which has just ended, any changes they have made are in one direction and one direction only. They want to vest more power in the executive arm. They want to vest more power in the Prime Minister. They want to enable certain amendments to proceed without 2/3 majority in both houses.
Yes.
I don't have to say anything here about the lunacy of leaving the King's Crown but remaining in the King's Court.
Thank you. Bro, man, the way how this man put things together, bro, it is ludicrous. It is actually Nonsense when you really think about it. This is what the JLP is selling us in the constitutional reform. Leaving the king's house, but staying in his court. That is like, hey, I'm kicking you out of my house, or I am 18 now. I'm my own man, and I'm leaving my parents' house. Raquel, how you doing? Raquel said, I think it means one who is aligned with either party. That means they will make decisions based on the party they serve or prefer. Thank you. I think you're right. I think you're absolutely right. An activist politician. Yeah. That's why I said it would be the opposite of a political activist. You know what I mean? But yeah. So back to this. What Mr. Patterson just explained is like, I leaving my parents' house and deciding that I'm my own man now, and you know I'm getting married and I want to have my family, and yeah, so I'm gonna leave your house, and then I walk out of their house and go into the doghouse in the yard, in the courtyard of the mansion. I don't leave the property, you know, but I left out of the main house. Come on, man.
What can go so?
That is the constitutional reform
What can
that
go
this Jamaica Labour Party is trying to put on the people and convince them.
Can go so?
Absolutely insane. Just insane. It makes no sense. It's ludicrous for real, man.
Because the court could decide in an appropriate motion what are the consequences of your having left, which would be regarded as detrimental to the interests of the country in which the Privy Council is cited. I said then, I would never ever agree to the head of state being chosen in a manner which makes that person beholden to a simple majority vote.
That part.
No.
That's not democracy.
What the person who asked the question or posed the problem didn't know, because he wasn't there at the time. We were ready to go when...
Yo, he can't be talking about Marlon Malahoo Ford. He's talking about somebody else. He said he who wasn't there at the time?
The problem didn't know, because he wasn't there at the time. We were ready to go when, after the 1997 elections, coming up to 2002, there was one outstanding matter, and that is whether it was 2/3 of both houses voting separately or 2/3 of everybody voting. In the committee, we proposed 2/3 of everybody voting together. But it didn't take me long when it came back to me to say that couldn't spin. I have always operated on a simple principle. Any law you are going to pass, think about how you would react to it in opposition.
Wow.
And if you find it repugnant, then you cannot expect the opposition to agree to it, or you should not.
Wow.
And these people are operating as though they are going to be in government in perpetuity.
Yes. What does in perpetuity mean? I think that means forever. Alright. I'm going to look it up though. In perpetuity. In perpetuity. Yeah, in perpetuity. I think he used that word already. In perpetuity refers to the quality or state of being impetuous, meaning acting or done quickly, without thought or care, often rashly. Oh, okay. Let's go back then. They're moving rashly. Okay. All right. Let's go back.
And these people are operating as though they are going to be in government in perpetuity. We are a democratic party. When we wanted to move from an executive president to a ceremonial plus president, I had to come to annual conference and ask the delegates permission to make that move. The search for national consensus.
Oh, I was right.
Must be the foundation.
Hey, I was right. In perpetuity is in perpetuity. I was right the first time. Hey, class prefect, a long time I don't see it, but one thing with it, when it comes on to teaching, you definitely are going to pop up. Me just look back on it, and I say again, I was right. Perpetuity means forever. So they really is operating like they think they're going to be in government forever. So the laws that they're setting, guys, I'm telling you, Talking My TV been saying it. Everybody been saying it. They are setting this up to be and act and move as a dictator. This is what the government of Jamaica, all of the moves that they're making, the way how they're operating, just doing what they want because they have a majority in the house, not caring about what the people of Portmore actually think and actually want for themselves. Right? They really believe that, okay, so we're gonna be in this thing forever. My sons, allegedly. Hey, shout out to the person that just sent me a screenshot of perpetuity. You know what I'm saying? Hey, yeah, man. Big up BOJ TV again. But just to the last message to them send me. Totally understand. Anytime I play the videos or I do a reaction to the videos, I'll definitely make sure that the number and the everything, all of the things that's advertised at the bottom of the screen is showing. So big up BOJ TV again. Zane, totally understand, man. I only work on a travel and all type of things, and you know what I say? I saw want to get on a job them to cover these things. So hey, I totally understand. Now back to Mr. Patterson, because the man just make a very, very serious point, what we need to digest. Understand? The Jamaica Labour Party is not moving right, Bridging. In the way how them operate, they are operating like they are the only government. Remember say, Desmond Mackenzie said he will not give up Jamaica to the PNP, And I don't think people have really taken those comments very, very seriously like I have, The man them is telling on themselves, Everett Warmington, all of the comments, them egregious comments that he has made, right? The way how them carve out Portmore. He said it out his mouth. They don't care. They actually believe that they are the dictators. They are literally operating in that manner. It's crazy, man. It's crazy. It is scary to think that we have a government that is supposed to be operating under a democratic rule, but they're operating the opposite of a democratic government. In my opinion, based off what I've seen, and also the opinion of the People's National Party, past president. Because if it wasn't his opinion, he wouldn't be saying what he just said.
They had to come to annual conference and ask the delegates permission to make that move. The search for national consensus must be the foundation of constitutional reform, not partisan advantage. There's one thing, or one of the things I learned sitting at the feet of Norman Manley. Much as any leader seeks political power, one must always love Jamaica more.
Thank you. That is it.
There are many people who are upset to this day with certain decisions that Norman Manley took, but those decisions were all in the interest of the nation, not confined to the interests of our party which he led.
True.
One of the reasons why we moved towards a ceremonial plus president is our experience in the 1980s. and particular when we saw the prospect that this country was going to break in two along political lines. And it is to their everlasting credit that both Michael Manley and Edward Siaga accepted that we had to pull back from over the brink. As a consequence,
Whoa.
they set up a...
So hold on. So Michael Manley and Edward Siaga actually agreed on something? What? Wait. Yeah, that's serious. That's serious. You know it's bad when Siaga agrees. Lord have mercy. You know it's bad, right?
Both Michael Manley and Edward Siaga accepted that we had to pull back from over the brink.
Wow.
As a consequence, they set up a committee, and I can share with you the personal animosity between the two leaders was so high that the only way they could find a solution was to ask Mr. Shearer on one side and me on the other side to lead the two delegations, of course reporting to the two leaders. And we set up what was then the Electoral Advisory Committee, which has morphed into the Electoral Commission. We want it entrenched in the new constitution. But if you want to really understand how well that commission has performed, think back to 2016 when the results came out 32 to 31, and within a few days of those results a new government was sworn into power, and she has never gotten enough credit for this. Portia Simpson Miller was seated on the platform as the outgoing Prime Minister.
Hey, so we have to maintain, we have to give credit where credit is due. Like her, don't like her, hate her. Man, Portia Simpson Miller did that, bro. Portia Simpson Miller performed at a very high level. She was in a rock and a hard place economically. Man, listen. Y'all gotta read, man. We gotta read. We gotta do better. We got to do better, bro. Listen, we was ignorant in the past. Hey, it is what it is, but we have to do better. We can't be ignorant all our lives. Come on now. The information is out there, right? Let us give that lady if she got, listen, if Portia Simpson Miller got 2 more terms in office, can you imagine what she would have done for this country? She would have she would have made this man proud. I'm talking about in terms of having 18 years to operate with the type of team she had. If she got more time, I believe we would have paid off all our debt, just like how he did, and freed up this country from the IMF and the World Bank. I really believe that. Talking about fiscal discipline, man, all those IMF tests that she passed, come on, man, stop playing.
As the outgoing Prime Minister. So now, I am alarmed when unilaterally, they take the decision to move the office of the public defender, public ombudsman, the political ombudsman into the Electoral Commission.
Emotional damage.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is why it's important to have a strong opposition. This is why it's important. Because, you see, the political ombudsman situation, I really did not understand how significant of a move that was that the Jamaica Labour Party removed the political ombudsman and put him in the office of the Prime Minister and the ECJ or the EOJ. It is not supposed to be that way. And it's called having a balance of power and holding each side to account. And Mr. Patterson has so expertly framed this argument, because the previous thing that he talked about directly involves a situation like this. Because remember, Mr. Manley and Mr. Saga could not agree. What did they do? They had two different people to mediate between the two of them and take the thing, moving forward. Right? Because they understand that they couldn't see eye to eye on it. They said, all right, you guys work it out, but you still come report to me. Right? It's the same thing, well, not the same thing, but similar. The political ombudsman is the referee between the JLP and the PMP. How can you have the referee of a match on the bench of one of the teams? That's essentially what has happened, The Jamaica Labour Party has put the political ombudsman on the bench of the JLP team. Team JLP in the office of the Prime Minister. Huh? Talk to me.
What can go so? What can go so?
Crazy, ladies and gentlemen.
What can go so?
So now, I am alarmed.
Very much alarmed.
When unilaterally
means they all came to the same decision.
they take the decision,
yes,
to move the office of the public defender, public ombudsman, the political ombudsman, into the Electoral Commission. First of all, it's a conflict of interest.
Yes. Yes.
By its very nature, you cannot put the body which is responsible for ensuring free and fair election into a situation where they have to be taking a position that involves differences between both sides. That's my first point.
Thank you.
But my second point, and more significantly, what fills me with such alarm, is that the moment one side decides to change the Electoral Commission's powers without consultation, you're opening the door. And I'm going to share something with you which I wrote, which I have spoken about before, but just to get you to understand why my concern. When we were coming up to the 1993 elections, the EAC as it then was asked permission, so that they were recommending an external mission to observe elections. And when we considered it in cabinet, first of all, it was not within their legal remit. We considered it in the cabinet, and we decided no, we weren't going to allow it. And then again, I thought a little bit more. People a lot of times misunderstand me. When I speak, I try to speak clearly, and I don't want to have to withdraw it. And I have always learned, engage the head before you engage your mouth. So when I thought about it, I said, although it is not within their remit, if I refuse their unanimous recommendation, the next time they make a recommendation, Mr. Saga might refuse it. Therefore, I go along with their recommendation. I had to go back to my cabinet, some of them are here, and I had to persuade them. And in the end, I had to say to them, give me this one. And they agreed. Consequence, Carter Commission came. It certified that the elections were free and fair, but it also pointed to some weaknesses. One of which was that when you had polling stations that were voted out, it did not reflect the will of the whole constituency. We wanted to have one person, one vote. So we looked at it and we devised the creation of somebody on the Electoral Commission. We entrusted them with the power, when such a thing arises, to declare those polling stations null and void and to have it over again. And I wonder if the present incumbent in West Central St. Andrew realized that he would be nowhere but for that introduction. And we had to do it not once, but twice. Now, you see what is already brewing between the Electoral Commission and the government. And all I would say is this. In 1967, I really learned from the JLP what gerrymandering was. But I never knew.
Embarrassing.
He needs some milk.
Shots fired, y'all. Hey, Pat Brown, shots fired. Oh, hey, that man said he learned what gerrymandering is from the JLP. Damn. Woo! Man. Hey, y'all, please remember to hit the like button. On now, I know y'all coming sometimes. Don't forget. And y'all forget, but the main thing, man, y'all gotta hit the like button, man. And share the live stream. Come on now. Stop playing. Support. Yeah. The like button is free, heard? Resilient, salute to you. Yeah. Smash that like button for me, guys. Thank you kindly. Damn, shots fired, Mr. Patterson.
I really learned from the JLP what gerrymandering was. But I never knew that you could gerrymander a whole parish.
Yo, what?
That is funny.
Hey,
honey.
yo, bruh.
That's funny.
Yo, man, Mr. Patterson,
God, that
man,
is
come
funny.
on, man. You gotta love this dude, man. Lord have mercy. A whole parish.
But I never knew that you could gerrymander a whole parish.
Take it to our next level, bro. Shut up.
And again, all I would say, because I don't want to give any clue to anybody, there are some constitutional issues which will arise.
Hey!
And I miss the days when I could put on my gown and say, see you in court.
Hey! Yo, this a man in a place still enough. You hear the man say? The man, hey, no, the JLP in a trouble enough. Hey, if you really don't understand and realize how much trouble the JLP is in, just take that statement from Mr. Patterson. The man wish he was in politics right now for take the JLP to court. He is that confident of beating them in court about the Portmore being a parish. All of them a try, me I tell you. Them a plan and got a wipe. The JLP in a trouble. They are going to be deemed unconstitutional once more in court. How embarrassing is that? The unconstitutional government of Jamaica. Eh? Mighty God, embarrassing, man.
Today, March 6th, was deliberately chosen. It is 28 years since the passing of the great Michael Manley.
Talk to him.
No one since the grant of universal adult suffrage has done more than he did during what I call an irreversible era of social transformation. Time and space will not allow me to go into the details of his achievements. As I said elsewhere, Sparrow Martin in the message says it best. But especially for the benefit of those who are too young to know, it is necessary for me to highlight a few of the giant steps we took during the 1970s to make every man, woman, or child smaddy. Lest we forget. Michael's passion was the building of a just society, one designed to ensure that every man, woman, and child would have an equal chance in life. We start with the Status of Children Act, which we refer to in common talk, no bastard no day again, that provided equality for children in the sight of God, of man, and of the law, that dealt with rights of children born out of wedlock when their parents pass.
Now, what he's talking about there, sir, ladies and gentlemen, we know the history of Jamaica. When, back in the day, when a child was born out of wedlock, say them used to deal with them in our way. Like, the society overall used to look down on those children. And I believe what he's talking about is, I remember a statement where they said, like, they were kicking away that thing, that idea that, it's a bastard child. Basically, don't do that to the child, because that child could become the president or the prime minister of Jamaica, right? They can't throw away the child because of what the parents them do. So that was transformational in that period. Now let's go back a little.
Children in the sight of God, of man, and of the law, that dealt with rights of children born out of wedlock when their parents pass. He introduced maternity leave with pay, equal pay for women. Perhaps one of the most outstanding in English common law jurisprudence was the abolition of the Master and Servant Act.
You're there.
Until then, as in the days of slavery, employees were regarded as the property of their masters. The very term is repugnant. The introduction of the Labor Relations and Industrial Disputes Act, the right to a job is property, which entitles the person to reinstatement. I hear whispers in some quarters about removing redundancy payments. And I say simply, don't anybody dare to go there.
Hey, you hear that?
I notice with pleasure that the People's National Party has already pledged to make the legislative changes to afford full protection in the service industries, whether it be tourism, security guards, BPO workers, and the whole range of people who are working basically on contracts and can be terminated
at any time,
without any benefits.
No protection.
Always is a temptation to say, jute them with jammer. The liberating power of literacy cannot be exaggerated.
Rosalie, how you doing?
I speak.
Where say Rosalie, they would have go with your pitney back in the day, with your bastard pitney. See, that me I talk about, because I know I've heard those types of conversations. I know I've heard it. So they were fighting for the rights of those children, because those children in that time, it's just, it is what it is, man. The society look down on that, man. You know what I'm saying? The government had to come step in.
About the extension.
Well, the PNP anyway.
of the 2,000 free scholarships which Norman Manley gave, which I contend is one of the most revolutionary steps that was taken up till then. Michael went further to the tertiary level. And I say simply, no matter what they say, the legacy of Michael Norman Manley will be cherished in perpetuity.
Forever.
The word was love and forever shall be.
You hear that?
Now, I come to set the record straight.
Alright, so that's a part one. Cooking with Elaine, big up. That's a part one, because we know PJ stay, you know. PJ is long-winded, you know. And he definitely takes his time. Always have. So, more to know just this part of the reaction, part one of the reaction. And just like it up. You see me, I say, share it up. You understand? Yeah. Alright, good. Don't forget to like the live. Don't forget to like the premiere. See? That is it. Alright, so we're gonna go to part 2, ladies and gentlemen, of Mr. PJ Patterson setting the record straight. And remember, hey y'all, please remember to hit the like button. I know y'all coming sometimes and y'all forget, but the main thing, man, y'all gotta hit the like button, man. I know that's right. Let's continue. Let's continue. Setting the record straight, part 2.
The word was love and forever shall be. Now, I come to set the record straight. And I want to talk about the era from 80 to 89.
Ooh, let's go.
We now have had access to the documents in Washington which establish beyond doubt the role of the CIA in destabilizing the administration.
Hey, want to hear that?
We know what triggered the presidential authorization. We know who were the principal contacts in the Jamaica Labour Party. We know the local groups and corporate entities that became the agents and tools for the overthrow with that massive defeat that we suffered 51-9. After that, and some of you are present, the People's National Party, as it always does, had some introspection to do. Not about our mission, not about our purpose, but about the methods by which we fulfill the sacred mission of the People's National Party. And that had to be done in light of the dramatic changes in the international environment, and it was soon to be followed by the disappearance of a bipolar world. The winds of globalization and the market economy had reached hurricane category 5 strength.
Wow.
The PNP had to rethink the role of the state in economic development while maintaining its steadfast commitment to providing equal opportunity and to secure justice for all. You remember that Saga was the first foreign visitor to Reagan.
Hey!
Reagan vowed to help make Jamaica a model of success for capitalism and ideological conservative alliances. He set up the David Rockefeller Group. They purchased tons and tons of bauxite and alumina for stockpiling. Between 81 to 88, Jamaica borrowed $2.1 billion from the IMF, the World Bank, the IDB. All those loans from the multilateral agencies were concessionary, but they came with harsh conditionalities. We who were living in those times witnessed the social programs being decimated and the worst sufferers were, of course, the poor and the marginalized. The national growth of 0.9%, which they attained for the decade of the 80s, was not due to any new investment projects. It was attributable to lower oil prices in 1986 and beyond. Meanwhile, the national debt was soaring enormously. These people who boast about economic management took over when the debt to GDP ratio was 63% in 1980. By 1989, it had ballooned to 262%. They dismantled local government cemeteries, local government services, and Mayor, they left you only to deal with cemeteries and markets. Several hospitals were closed or downgraded. At one time, our net international reserves had fallen precipitously to an all-time low, minus 803 million.
Embarrassing.
Despite this, they failed 4 IMF tests and used a statement from our then General Secretary as a pretext to call the bogus elections in 1983, breaking a solemn commitment not to hold any elections before there was a new electoral voters list. When we came to office in 1989, we inherited an IMF agreement, a World Bank structural adjustment loan, an IDB loan, all of which were dictated according to the gospel of the Washington Consensus. We had no trade preferences any longer for our primary commodities, and we were unable to protect domestic markets by tariffs. Can't do what is being done to the north, and trade quotas had to disappear.
I'm gonna go back to what you just said, alright? But you know, when you see comments like this, it really is disappointing. This person has to be a troll sent by the JLP to come and just make these types of statements. Carol said Bolo Andrew would have been a bastard if it weren't for PJ. Hey, hey, you know what I'm saying? It is what it is. But and that's the truth for a lot of children in Jamaica, because not everybody's getting married. But moving past that, just quickly, Mark Golding is only a reminder to Jamaicans of our former white British colonial slave masters and what they did to our great grandparents. So, what has Mark Golding did for you against the people of Jamaica for you to come to such a ludicrous conclusion? What has Mark Golding did? What has Mark Golding family done for the people of Jamaica? Do you know the legacy of Mark Golding's father that still stands today? A clinic, a hospital, a treaty for people that are actually, you know, disabled. One of it, the only one of its kind in the English-speaking Caribbean. So, what part of that is a reminder of what happened to our grandparents? What part of Mark Golding's family's legacy have you dug up anything about his father, his grandfather? Did they own slaves? What? I am asking pertinent questions to this individual that just came in here and made this ludicrous statement. Please explain to me, where's the evidence of Mark Golding's family hurting the people of Jamaica of the past? Where is it? Where is it? Is it that every white person is a reminder of what the former white people did to our great grandparents? Is that your mindset? And if so, how can you look at Daryl Vaz? How can you look at Anne-Marie Vaz? How can you look at a majority of the individuals that are in the JLP? How can you support the JLP that is supported by these same white people, the PSOJ, the elites, the oligarchs? How can you support that? Do you look past those facts that those people are even whiter than Mark Golding? Huh? Those people are even whiter than Mark Golding. Mark Golding actually have a wife that is African. Did you look past that? Oh, and this final thing. Do you know that Andrew Holness bowed down to the king by signing and becoming a part and pledging to the Privy Council? Have you read the pledge? Do you understand that Andrew Holness, by virtue of the pledge, cannot even lie to the king? He cannot keep any secrets. Do you know that? I'm just asking these questions because it's education time enough. Oh, I guess you're gone, so no more comments. All right.
We had no trade preferences any longer for our primary commodities, and we were unable to protect domestic markets by tariffs. I know what is being done to the north, and trade quotas.
This person said, Jamaicans have not forgot what he did at FinSac. Oh, why haven't they released the FinSac report? Another statement that's easily debunked. FinSac report, they did not find what they were looking for. Hello, that's why they didn't release it. If Mr. Patterson or anybody from the PMP did anything wrong in FinSac, they would have released the report. It's because they did not find evidence to support their argument. Again, another lie debunked. This is too easy, bro. Anyway, class prefect said, in fact, from Mark Golding's great grandfather came down was doctor serving the Jamaican people. Yes, and it's, listen, if people just do a little bit of research, into Mark Golding's family, they are a group of activists. They have been servants of the people. Just do a little bit of research and stop coming on the internet and just saying stuff. Seriously. Just, seriously. Mark Golding himself has never done anything where FinSac is concerned. He had nothing to do with it. Zaduet Alman, big up. He had nothing to do with it. But I digress. I'm not gonna respond to any more nonsense from that person. I might just block them if they keep saying nonsense, but I don't know. Depending on how I feel.
Had to disappear. Trade quotas. So there was an urgent need for deep reform of the Jamaican economy and its productive base in order for us to compete in the global marketplace. When Michael Manley was leaving, you remember he made an address to the nation. And he said this: the leadership contest will not affect the market economy path, nor our commitment to tourism. The programs of commitment, of empowerment, our commitment to regional integration will not change. For the choices will be between persons who have helped me make all the policies which now guide the actions of the government. I have outlined the background to set the record straight and smash the deliberate plots to distort the truth by those who would prefer us to forget. I won't. They want to perpetuate the myth that they were geniuses at managing the economy and the PNP mash it up. They won't tell you that the Bank of Jamaica had persons buying up US dollars on the illicit market. And notice I said illicit. It was done to pop up their bogus auction system of foreign exchange. They don't want to remind you that they had pre-sold bauxite and alumina, and also future revenues from cable and wireless. So we had no revenues to come from these sources. Julian, they are doing it again. And you are going to find that nothing is coming to you from the Norman Manley Airport. But they claim to be financial wizards.
No new loan.
As we know, I finished Michael's term, and Portia finished mine. So we're dealing with 4 terms together. It's time to set the record straight and tell the story of what we actually accomplished. And I can only give you some snippets of it today. It is time to state clearly, very critical, what is the difference the PNP has always made in order to improve the lot and conditions of our Jamaican people. Lest we forget, we are the People's Party. We put people first. Remember when? Before we proceed any further, how many people remember that period in the 80s when the oil tankers in the harbor would not offload the fuel until they got paid? How many people remember the gas lines that were stretching for miles in the hot sun? You remember about when you want to purchase a new vehicle? You go to the dealer, you pay the money in full. When the car arrives, somebody give them a higher price and they give you back your money without interest. You remember? All of that stuff. I think Caldwell was at the trade board at the time. And several people today are doing well because of the cars that we allowed in. But, again, remember me, I'm a country boy. Remember the days of the call boxes? To make phone calls in rural Jamaica and our larger villages?
People who remember I call box them. I not gonna say where I live still, but remember one call box I used to do right in the town. I mean right in the town. Right beside one light post. Yeah, I ain't gonna make an international call them and them something there. What you say? Who remember I call box them when you have to go, hey, them big button there. Hey! No sir, people, we are coming far away. Me not lie. We are coming far away. Coming a far away. Evan Miller, pick up. We are coming far away. Sonia, pick up. We are coming far away, man. Trust me, we are coming far away.
People today are doing well because of the cars that we allowed in. But, again, remember me, I'm a country boy. Remember the days of the call boxes? To make phone calls in rural Jamaica and our larger villages? When you had to go up to the street corner? We saw our task in 1989 as having to transform a weak and unstable economy and lay the foundations for sustained growth and development. The man that they have vilified so much, the Minister of Finance, Omar Davis, he managed the macroeconomic indicators so well that we passed 12 IMF tests straight.
Now, for the finance gurus out there, please, can you guys be honest? 12 IMF test straight, brother. Isn't that something? Isn't that like you're gonna borrow money from them? They have these, stipulations, and you have to stay within those guidelines. And if you don't, well, pretty much you're gonna have bad credit. So isn't that something? Can we all agree that the man really did that, and that was actually a good thing that actually benefited Jamaica? Can we all agree on that? I'm just asking.
And as a result of that, by 1995, I was able to say to the IMF, Tata and goodbye.
That was a historic moment in our political history. Saying bye to the IMF. And who caused us to go back again? Don't worry, I'll wait.
I'm coming now to an issue that is very much alive today. And it is about financial management. All that we accomplished was done at the same time that we had to protect 1.5 million deposit accounts and 570,000 insurance policy holders out of our own resources. Let the record show not one of them lost a single dollar. That's right. I'm not surprised that there was no final report about FinSac. Because
the person who just come in here and talk about FinSac. When you hear what the man said a while ago? Listen again.
A single dollar. That's right. I'm not surprised that there was no final report about FinSac. Because the commissioners could not find what they were sent in to look for. And indeed, the full story had been told in Parliament and was in testimony before the commissioners. When that happened, the multilateral financial institution said to us, yes, we persuaded you to open the system and to grant license because we wanted to have competition in the financial markets. But when they failed, they said to us, this is what a market economy means. They took the risk, let them pay the price, drive it to the wall. As a responsible government, we had to look at questions of trust and confidence. For local depositors, what would it mean to Jamaicans overseas that were sending money back home? We had to look what would be the social consequences of a meltdown. And I think some of you will remember that special conference that I summoned at National Arena. And there is a hard-working farmer, an honest man, a firm Christian believer. I've known him for a very long time. Unlike some, he come to conference, but he don't talk. And I was on the platform, and when I saw Eric Thompson going to the mic, I said, my God, what is he going to say? How many of you remember what he said? He said, comrade leader, made a business with the bank name. All the bank down of Falmouth, a few bank. Because if you never give them license, them couldn't get my money. I am a hard working man, as you know. Anytime me go down there and me ask for my money and me can't get it, me I go back to Daniel Town. And the next was what really shocked me. And I'm going to sharpen my cutlass and blood is going to flow like a river down the Martha Brae.
Yo, people in a play at them time, they would have ramp with the money, Cause down at the bank, I go with the last, Hey, you think I joke? Sherman, how you doing? Sherman CW, it's definitely been a while, and it's very good to see you. I hope that you and your family is doing well, alright? Let's continue. No, sorry, what about sharp name last, brother?
And you know the funny thing, that was a Sunday. The Friday passing through Falmouth and him flagged me down. And he said not one word about his conference presentation. He was complaining to me that Bull not pulling him weight in the constituency, and I must get rid of him. Now, after that experience, we put in place the Jamaica Deposit Insurance Company to protect small and medium-sized depositors in full. We also created the Financial Services Securities Commission to regulate institutions that deal with insurance, pensions, and securities in order that investors and depositors would be alerted in advance of any failure and therefore spared any repeat.
Now, ladies and gentlemen, we have to point this out. I am compelled to point this out. You notice how the people complain and how the PMP respond. That I want you guys to pay attention enough. When the people complain about something, how do they respond? They put policies in place to ensure that those things are either reduced or don't happen again. They don't say to the people, listen man, you know, just chill man. No, they really work for the people. And I digress.
Now we come to SSL.
Lord of mercy. People, bangarang. Bangarang. Right, that's the story.
We need help, Jesus.
We need
Jamaica
help.
need help. Shift the parliament.
Shift it.
Shift the election.
Shift it.
Shift everything. Remove them out there. Take out the cockroach. Take out the thief. Take out the criminal them. Take out the thief them. Take out the murderer them. Take out the gang leader them. Out of parliament. Take them out. From Portland. Take them out. I hear Portland. Me I go to Portland. Why me I travel to Portland? Take out somebody. Man or woman.
I will never call nobody name. But take them out, Father God, whoever they may be.
Embarrassing. He needs some milk.
Now look at the posture. Look at the body language of Mr. Patterson. The SSL Saga is weighing heavily on this man, you know, man. The man is concerned, you know, Virgin. Look at how the man enter into. Let us talk about SSL. Let's go back a bit. Look at it.
Failure and therefore spared any repeat. Now we come to SSL.
Look at that. You see, a picture or a visual, it really tells you 1,000 things, you know, if you're really paying attention, you know. Tell you, boy.
And I ask, how could any government in the
But Mirati, that the woman in she in a video the whole time, but as soon as Patterson say SSL, she make sure so she get this a personal clip for her TikTok, you know. Big up she.
therefore spared any repeat? Now we come to SSL. And I ask, how could any government in their right senses possibly think that the failure of a licensed institution to repay 200 investors whose money has vanished could become an issue of national secrecy? It is a matter which is of concern to the entire nation and our standing in the world.
Of course.
And for them to have thought so borders on lunacy when one of the members is a living legend.
Come on now, talk about it.
I want to be very clear. Nobody is singling out Bolt for any special treatment.
No.
He hasn't asked for it, and I don't think he expects it.
No, he don't.
But the widowers, the pensioners, and all the persons who were robbed have a compelling interest in finding out how the money goes.
Of course.
Usain Bolt is a loyal Jamaican who is an international icon. He's not going to use the same image or rhetoric as his parishioner, Mr. Thompson from North Trelawney also. But the fact is, even if he kept quiet about it, there is an interest because you have some publications that track the income and the worth of athletic stars and of musical stars. So they have been following the story. And when they see a sudden dip in their account, they're going to take notice of it. So it is just sheer stupidity for them to pretend that this thing can happen and the opposition is not going to say anything about it. We're not creating any partisan issue out of it. This is a national issue. My own.
Now, ladies and gentlemen, to really back up what Mr. Patterson is saying, right? Being it a genuine issue. It's a genuine issue. It's not something that they can say, oh, you know, they're just using it for a political gain. And even if it doesn't favor the Jamaica Labour Party, I believe the Jamaica Labour Party would be licking their chops if the PMP was in the position that they are in. I believe that the Jamaica Labour Party would have done everything in their power, right? Every single way to use this against the People's National Party to take power. So we don't want to hear any crying. Remember this?
Driving perfectly fine then, but when we hit the highway,
stop again.
It just lost power until it shut down. I thought we drove out the first one and we refilled at a different station. And apparently another boat of bad gas. But you see, I think what has happened is that maybe I don't know, I'm just speculating. I suspect that it has so clogged the injectors that you know right now it is now in the garage being I don't know what has happened, and tomorrow I'll get the full diagnosis from the mechanic, but I suspect that between engine and injectors that I will have a serious repair bill.
And therefore when he speaks to the issue of bad gas from first hand.
People who make that kind of criticism don't understand media. You use all the forms of communication, and that is my job. My job is to bring to the public the political understanding of issues. I get a sense from Jamaicans that there are some Jamaicans who want to make excuses for government failure. This is an ultimate failure of the government.
So all of the labor them out there that is making excuses to Andrew Holness and his government, piss poor performance, yeah, it's a failure. He's a failure and you are a failure. It's a failure by the government, by his own words. Its own words, making excuses for the government, him making excuses for himself, him blaming what is happening in Jamaica on the People's National Party that's not in power, him blaming 18 years ago. Oh yeah. They are an international disgrace and an international failure. And that's facts.
It is just sheer stupidity for them to pretend that this thing can happen and the opposition is not going to say anything about it. We're not creating any partisan issue out of it. This is a national issue. By my own profession and disposition, I don't like to engage in rumor, speculation, or gossip. I know there is a legal presumption of innocence to which all accused are entitled. If anyone who thinks that whatever Ms. Panton is accused of doing if in fact she did anything could be done by her alone, must still believe that the world is flat. Justice demands that the thief or thieves be found, and receivers of the stolen money, if any, end up where those who have been convicted by a court of competent jurisdiction go, where criminals belong. Bolo's money was not lost, it was stolen, plain as daylight. We must not prejudice the right of fair trial of any accused. But there are issues which, according to our constitutional entitlement of free speech, demand ventilation and not a muzzle. In 19...
Pause. Now, see, I try not to pause a lot with Mr. Patterson. I like to let him flow, but he just be saying some stuff you gotta talk about. You heard what the man said?
Demand ventilation and not a muzzle.
So, the conversation around SSL, DPP, Andrew Holness, Marlin Malawu, Dr. Dana Campbell, Morris Dixon, whatever you want to name, all are only in the labor right government. All of the apologists, all of the cappers, all I capper them.
Stop the cap. Stop the cap right now. Stop the cap. No bullshit, bro.
There needs to be an open conversation. Ventilate. You know what ventilate mean? When you open the window to let the breeze in or let the breeze out, or make the air flow. We don't need any constrictions. You understand? We don't need to lock up in our small room. They are trying to lock up SSL into a small room and hide the proceedings and everything. You hear that, Nigel Clark? Cause you're so slick, you just take away yourself and go on to IMF after you get yourself a 200 to 300% increase by your money. What can go so?
What can go so?
Right?
We must not prejudice the right of fair trial of any accused. But there are issues which, according to our constitutional entitlement of free speech, demand ventilation and not a muzzle.
No gag order. Tell them, no, General.
In 1998, Mr. Eric Thompson would have had no legal recourse for a failure of his bank. But now, there's the FSC. Mr. Bolt has very competent lawyers. I do not intend or need to offer them legal advice. But what I would say is, if they have not already done so, the FSC had better pad up a top-class legal team. Because the question is going to arise, has there been a breach of its statutory duties? And they certainly expose themselves to civil action in our courts by any of the or all of the 200 investors whose money has disappeared.
People, want to hear that? Why is this significant? Basically, the DPP came out and pretty much said what she said about the case against Miss Panton and alluded or appeared to allude to ideas given to the defense where that can draw out, right? And it's clear, everybody heard it. So we're not telling a lie upon her. She even caught herself and said, I hope I'm not giving the defense any ideas while uttering the idea. Yes? We can all agree? No, what have Mr. PJ Patterson done here? This is the counter, in my opinion. This is the counter where there can be class action lawsuit against FSC. I hope you guys share this with any potential investor of SSL that lost their money. Tag Usain Bolt. I hope he saw this. You understand? And I hope his legal team has been already on it. And I think they have hinted to it because the statement that the lawyer made when he said this is a regulated company. Who regulates the SSL? Isn't the FSC who does that? Isn't the FSC under the Prime Minister's office? Could there be some level of compromise in the investigation of the monies lost? Because the Prime Minister's statutory declaration cannot be certified, and because he is one of the individuals that was received the money. Well, I think he's the only individual that received money that we know about out of SSL. Statement of how that money came about was put out by Marlon Morgan, and I think then retracted by Nationwide. That post, I believe it has disappeared, but people still have screenshots of the actual word. I'm just saying, there's a lot of moving parts going on, ladies and gentlemen. The FSC might more than likely be in trouble if all of these 200 plus investors come together and get the right lawyers on this and sue the FSC. We need people to be held accountable. And you see, for all the people out there that don't care and want to brush this under the rug because they support the Jamaica Labour Party and an election here, so they don't want to look bad and they don't want this make them lose the election, because all they care about is winning a damn election. Not about the people that lost their millions of dollars, right? Their pension, all that money that they worked hard for. They don't care about that, you know. All they care about is this man on the screen in the blue tie winning an election. It's a damn shame, you know. It's a damn disgrace, you know. This is where we're at as a people in Jamaica, you know, where we have no empathy or sympathy, right, for individuals of our brothers and sisters. It could have been us. It could have been our family. And you guys don't care. All you care about, because it appears that you guys are under a spell. Gloria, how you doing? Salute to you. Right? Judith, salute to you. It appears that you guys are under a spell. It appears, because it's like you're worshiping this man. He can't do anything wrong. When people come out and speak the truth, you say that we're attacking. Right? And then you attack us. Left the man alone, car PMP and JLP is the same. Where? Show the evidence. You talk about FinSac. Where's the evidence? You can't just keep saying that without evidence. There is enough evidence for us to suspect that this government is in skullduggery. 8 persons under investigation by the Integrity Commission, including the leader of the party. The fact that they have a gag order and they can't talk about it. And then when Usain Bolt come out and speak about his money, you guys attack him in the comment section, on Twitter and all over the place. And then members of the JLPs attacking him. And have caught themselves in a narrative of a syndicate by their own actions. Come on now. Let's talk about it. Let's really talk about it. That's crazy, isn't it? It's crazy.
Civil action in our courts by any of the or all of the 200 investors whose money has disappeared. I want to move to an area which demonstrates the fundamental difference between our two political parties. The PNP has always endorsed the critical value of strong economic indicators. Let no one tell you otherwise. But the PNP does not believe macroeconomic stability is an end in itself. We recognize it is a vital foundation upon which to build sustained economic growth and lasting social progress. Plainly put, we don't only want a good report card for the multilateral financial institutions, but more so, we want the money and the performance measures to be used as the key to ensuring development in order to accentuate the full release of our human potential and to yield a satisfying quality of life for our Jamaican people.
Original, yeah, big up yourself, big up yourself.
Norman Manley, in 1938, espoused the party's commitment to place an emphasis on the masses who were poor, weak, and vulnerable. That has endured throughout the ages as a priority for all PNP administrations. The party's record of social intervention throughout all its terms in government, from Norman Manley to Portia Simpson Miller, is well documented. Our policy initiatives in the social sector have been consistently based on rigorous analysis that underpin our policies and programs. Setting the record straight. In the 90s, we introduced a poverty index which allowed annual tracking on the impact of cost increases on the entire population and particularly on the lowest income groups. That was the basis for the introduction of the National Poverty Eradication Program. It helped us to identify selected geographical areas, not based on political support, but on the basis of needs, which deserve special interventions in terms of providing physical and social infrastructure. Let the record show we dramatically reduced the poverty line, which was at 28.4% in 1990 to 9.9% in 2007. It is clear that the focus that we placed on the poverty index no longer exists. Why do I say so?
Tell us.
Despite the macroeconomic statistics, so many of our families, workers, and those in menial services are today demoralized and discontented. In the last 8 years, we are falling further and further behind on meeting the 2030 Millennium Goals. The party introduced a human resource development program because we believe that the country must invest heavily in human capital.
No, the 2030 goal, Millennium, what is that? You know, I'm not so I need to be educated more on that. I wish they would educate us about that. What is the Millennium 2030 goal? What is that? What does that mean for the country? You know what I'm saying? Am I the only one that is concerned about what that means? You know, hey, we need some education on that now.
If we are to get a qualitative improvement of our daily lives, we believe in shared prosperity, not confined to a special few, but shared equitably. And hence, we shifted focus from poverty alleviation as a welfare benefit to poverty alleviation as a means of providing human justice. Hence, PATH, a social safety net, no longer food stamps and handouts. We sought to alleviate poverty by building capacities for families below the base income line, elderly, disabled, youth at risk. A cricket imagery was made by Mr. Gordon. Okay. For us, this was a shock attack on the ranks of.
Okay, it's a plan to make Jamaica a first world country by 2030. What does that mean for our policies? What does that mean for our laws? Does that mean we're tied to other countries? Does the people of Jamaica understand what that fully means, and do we want that? I'm just asking. Thanks for the clarity though, class prefect.
Poverty and inequality. Health. We don't believe in gimmickry about a free health system that has people waiting for days and days and days.
Hey, Christopher Tufton, come my front eye class. Yeah, man. Christopher Tufton, come to the front of the class, sir. We're not in the gimmickry, yeah? Remember good.
Health. We don't believe in gimmickry about a free health system that has people waiting for days and days and days. It is on the verge of collapse. Let me refresh your memories. We upgraded and refurbished KPH, Mandeville, St. Anne's Bay, Cornwall Regional, Spanish Town, Bustamante Children. The new Maypen Hospital that we built is the only new hospital built over the last 50 years. We introduced drugs for the elderly. And I will just say this one simply. I heard them asking what would have happened if we had the COVID epidemic and the PNP was in power. And I asked them the question, how would they have survived COVID if it were not for the National Health Fund? And put it simply, very, very simply, the National Health Fund for health is what the National Housing Trust was intended to be. But, Prime Minister in waiting, you have to prepare your plans for the next step to move from a National Health Fund to a National Health System. When it comes to education,
people, the man a touch upon every industry, So, the healthcare system, the man say almost crash. Where's the lie? The healthcare system is almost over with. Guys, can you imagine if a pandemic was to come to Jamaica? In any time in the next 2-3 months, where are the ventilators? Where are the nebulizers in the public hospital? If a lockdown was to come again, wouldn't that slow down people's money? So the people that are already not making a lot of money, how are they going to find themselves at private doctors where those ventilators are functional? This is the same Christopher Tufton that told people in the pandemic if they want water, they should take the joke. I'm telling you, none of these guys on the screen, except for Mr. Patterson, of course, that has already led, none of them are fit to lead the country that you see on the screen. Andrew Holness is not fit. He has proven that. And if Andrew Holness was to resign, I know that they're going to try and sell Christopher Tufton as the next man up. He's probably going to be in the top 3 considerations. But I'm here to tell you, ladies and gentlemen, that none of them both of them is the same thing in my book. Pretty close. Not too far off from one another. Wicked, man.
Everybody knows that that is PNP territory. It shouldn't be surprising because teachers were involved in the concept of the PNP. That is how Howard Felix Hanlon Cook came to be a founding member that drew up. I am not able to go into any extensive presentation. I've been begging Damien on education. I said, do for God's sake, take education out to the people. Bring back the People's Forum. We have a situation where there's a report presented, a good report, but the stakeholders have no involvement in what it contains. We believe that education is a key driver of social and economic transformation, and it is more important for technological innovation to build a knowledge society, which is where we are seeking to go. In passing, remember, we reopened the vocational training centers that had been closed. We expanded HEART to embrace the national training agencies. And this is a report from the World Bank. The quintile of tertiary students in Jamaica moved from 6.5% in 1991 to 19.5% by 2004. When I took office, we had one university. When Portia left office in 2007, we had 6. I'm almost embarrassed to mention a comparison in the field of housing. When we completed Greater Portmore in 1995, we had 10,850 houses for that year. That is more houses than they built in any 4 of their years in office. We built 150,000 houses. Where are they in fulfilling their promise to build less than half of that, 70,000? We provided 58,000 families with land titles under Operation Pride. They've handed over 280 social housing units in 7 years. That makes for good photo op. But it would take an eternity to satisfy the demand. To stimulate growth, we created entities that generate economic.
Oh, and we have to remember that those houses that the People's National Party gave those people land titles for, we have to remember that when those persons pass away, Desmond McKenzie, you know, their family still owns the land. Their family still owns the property. I just wanted to remind you, you know, of that. All the labor rights out there that's listening, I know there's a few of you. One of you is still in the chat typing nonsense, but hey, I feel generous today. I will allow it as long you're not being disrespectful. So I'm gonna allow you to just, you know, make yourself look like a flaming, you know, yeah, you know. Let's continue. Lord of mercy. Lord of mercy.
Economic activity which expand business enterprises and provide employment. In 2005, we attracted $800 million of investment, mainly in construction, mining, and agro-processing. We built the physical infrastructure, the airport in Montego Bay, the North Coast Highway, water supplies, reliable energy to support hotel development as well.
Anybody seen Nigel?
2 of our local chains grew, Sandals, super clubs. We did not forget the small hoteliers. Then there was the Spanish investment. And believe you me, it's difficult for me to stay in the pavilion and watch when they talk as though they are responsible. It is a myth. I don't want to use any imagery from a former leader on their side, how to treat lies. But all I would ask them to do, give credit where credit is due.
Right.
For it is the right and proper thing to do.
That is it.
Any of you remember when a cell phone was like a briefcase? The availability of cellular phones has increased by 500%.
Hold on there.
You go through the country.
People, when I hear the fun in our background, Lord have mercy. It's in there. So what is in there in Kenya? I can't bother with you. Make me go back. No, sir.
Any of you remember when a cell phone was like a briefcase?
Embarrassing. He needs some milk.
The availability of cellular phones has increased by 500%. You go through the countryside and the farmer in the cane field has his cell phone. You know what irks me? I saw one time they were putting out something about the Universal Adult Fund, Universal Access Fund, with the then minister proclaiming. I had to go to Washington to talk with the Treasury Department because they were saying that the tax we imposed on calls coming in was in fact a tax on them. We established the Universal Access Fund by levy on all inbound telephone calls to provide broadband island-wide, free Wi-Fi national coverage, and scholarships for those who are engaged in that field. And dare I say that those in the media who are always attacking us, particularly in broadcasting, it never occurred to them but for what we did to open the media landscape, they would not exist.
Hey, you hear that?
And hear me, I'm not asking them to modify their position. All I say, speak the truth and speak it ever, cost it what it will. And that is why we have introduced the Access to Information Act.
So people, you see even PG address the media. I wonder how the media is going to respond. The mainstream media that is clearly out there biased towards the JLP. And that is our opinion. That is what the people in the street is saying. That is what the people is saying. That is how the people see you based off your actions. So the mainstream media need to check their actions. Right? Me, I'm very, very open about my position. The JLP, based off their action, I can never rock with. They are liars. Alright? They create narratives. The truth is not in them, man. They are ultimate cappers. They just lie, bruh. Just to make up something to make they look good. They just lie. They can't give credit where credit is due. Right? They can't give the right context to situations. Like their fiscal prudence and discipline. Where's the discipline? Huh? How and if you want to label it as that, how is the discipline affecting our economy? Is the people of Jamaica growing? Are we in more high-paying jobs? Is the workforce of higher value? Like, these are serious questions. Yeah, they're not gonna put this up. I think it was TVJ. TVJ covered what's her name? The situation with Miss Juliet Holness and Mr. Fitz Jackson, right? The situation in Parliament yesterday. Yesterday, the mainstream media covered it, but how did they cover it? They cut it off when Mr. Fitz Jackson was explaining why he actually, she basically misinterpreted, misunderstood, and pretty much thought he was saying something he was not saying. Powell Wright, how you doing? And, TVJ covered it the way they did. They cut Mr. Fitz off. Mr. Fitz Jackson off. And that didn't give good context to the situation. It still made the Speaker of the House look bad. And in some people's eyes, oh, she stuck it to the PMP. She stuck it to Mr. Fitz Jackson. I don't know what the intentions of TVJ was, but I question, why did they cut that part out? Why did they cut out the part where Mr. Fitz Jackson explained his part? If you're going to be biased, just say you support the JLP. That's all. Don't act as if when we call you out on it, then you want to say shame on Mr. Mark Golden. And it's not just TVJ. I'm just saying mainstream media overall is giving the vibes. It appears to be like y'all is some biased people, bro. I don't know if y'all are bought out. I don't know. I don't know for sure, but hey, the way y'all moving, hey, for somebody to come to that conclusion, can't blame them.
We introduced the National Commission on Science and Technology to coordinate the programs and develop the linkages with the sector of science and technology in both the public and private sectors. We brought a fresh approach to governance, including building into our programs community participation and ownership. That is how JSIF was born, to support education, training, health, community projects, to stimulate the creative industries and early childhood education. We use money from the Bauxite Fund for the development of projects in villages in the surrounding areas of mining. Tourism Enhancement Fund to spur amenities in destination for visitors and residents alike. The Inner City Development Program, the removal of zinc fences. Let me set the record straight on how we compare on economic growth, because I think it's an insult to our intelligence when they are claiming that they manage the economy better than the PNP.
He needs some milk.
To our intelligence when they are claiming that they manage the economy better than the PNP. The World Bank data shows that between 1992 and 2006, the economy grew more than is the case between 2016 and 2023.
Powell Wright, I already did a video covering both what Juliet Holness said and what Fitz Jackson was saying. You can go to my page and look for the video upload. The title of it is, oh my God, OMG, Juliet Holness Rush Fitz. I put Fitz Henley. Damn, I gotta change that. Fitz Jackson. Should be Fitz Jackson. Let me change that. So it says, oh my God, Juliet Holness rush Fitz Jackson. I don't know why I put Fitz Henley. My bad, Mr. Jackson. I apologize and I'm sorry. Fitz Jackson, and got thoroughly exposed as an arrogant bully. And the thumbnail is her on it saying, I have spoken, with 3 exclamations mark. And Mr. Fitz Jackson looking at her perturbed as, you're not going to allow me to rebut all that and respond to what you're saying? Yeah, so you definitely want to check that out. That video is doing very well. It's actually 6,600 views. Yeah, and I posted it last night. So you need to go check that out, Paul, alright? Everything that he said and what she said, we broke it down and came to an understanding of what actually happened in that situation. But yeah, let's continue.
What happened to 5 in 4?
5 in 4, who remember? Hey! Shots fired, baby.
The Article 4 report card from the IMF that we received in 2006 spoke in glowing terms of what we had accomplished in our own macroeconomic programs designed by us. But we designed those programs mindful of our domestic challenges and social objectives. There can be no argument that in 2007 we left the economy of Jamaica in a much better state than we found it in 1989. The heavy investment in infrastructure and restructuring of the financial sector we undertook represents the vital change which has taken root and opened wide the doors for all the investments in tourism, mining, information and communication technology which has taken place since then. Don't let anyone else claim paternity. That is jacket.
Oh, so that a jacket, Lord of mercy. I mean, say them are the father of it, you know.
But through it all, as we sought to boost production, we never, ever lost sight of the obligation to secure social justice for all our people. At the same time, and this is not something we get credit for, we worked tirelessly to reduce political tribalism. We do not regard scarce benefits as the spoils of victory. We believe they should be allocated according to needs. And all of this was aimed at reducing political tribalism and thereby eliminate political violence. And I hope the government in its last few months in office will never forget that. It will take another session like this. We do not regard scarce benefits as the spoils of victory. We believe they should be allocated according to needs. And all of this was aimed at reducing political tribalism and thereby eliminate political violence. And I hope the government in its last few months in office will never forget that.
Hey! Hey! No, sir.
That is funny, honey.
Take his microphone.
Oh my God, that is funny.
Hey, Prudence. Hey, Prudence, PJ Patterson said.
Take his microphone. Just a minute. Just a minute. Take his microphone. Usher him out. Usher him out.
PJ Patterson said.
Usher him out.
For usher out Andrew Holness. So they're not here. If you come right them, they need any motivation. You the man say, them last few months in the office, you just want to remind them about some facts, you know?
It will take another session like this to get the record straight as to what triggered the initial complacent retort in 2012 by the then Minister of Finance when there were banking failures in both the United States of America and the United Kingdom. It is they who took us back to the borrowing window of the IMF.
Those are facts.
The PNP in 2012 inherited an economy which was faltering. The IMF had stopped sending the money. There was a complete absence of confidence in Washington and external capital markets. Jamaica was in deep mud. No one can deny that it was under the watch of Jamaica's 7th Prime Minister, Portia Simpson Miller, with Dr. Peter Phillips as Minister of Finance, that our international creditworthiness returned to a secure footing. It was the PNP between 2012 and 2016 which laid the course to reduce the debt ratio to GDP and to build up the net international reserves to historic levels. Since then, and I'm always fair, there has been a continuation along that path. But no one should be boasting about the present trends and forget which party made us turn the corner again. The People's National Party, or even worse, trying to spread false propaganda. They will preen on the indices and even try to explain when a recession, by classic economic definition, is not in fact a recession. I am not going to get engaged in that semantic row.
People, this I don't know, PJ a touch on everything, you know. Hear what I'm saying? Cause I'm trying to talk about technical recession and these things. And him say he's not going to engage in that semantic round. What does semantic mean? Wordplay. Because they're being disingenuous. They just don't want to come out and say that we're in a recession, which we are in. A technical recession is still a recession. By the definition, we are in a recession. But they cannot come out and say that because they are in fear and shiver of any little thing that will derail them from winning the election. So they are not being truthful with the Jamaican people. You understand? It is pretty pitiful though, you know. It's pretty pitiful. I'm telling you.
What I do know is that there are too many families, some with 2 working parents, who simply cannot make ends meet. I know that there are too many young professionals who do not see when, if ever, they will own a home. I read reports in international documents that hunger and malnutrition in Jamaica have reached alarming levels.
These are the facts.
Why are they surprised that the birth rate is falling?
Thank you.
And so, ladies and
who here so them a plan for I did a video on that, you know. Yo, the man them a plan for import people and import sperm. Mighty God of that there. Yo, me stress out there, man. Jamaica not a real place, brother. Jamaica mash up. The pride of the men. How the man them feel? How they feel about that? The man them a plan to import people and import sperm.
What can go so?
Embarrassing.
We need some milk.
Hey y'all, please remember to hit the like button. I know y'all come in sometimes and y'all forget, but the main thing, man, y'all gotta hit the like button, man, and share the live stream. Come on now, stop playing. Support, support, support. The like button is free, heard? Class prefect said the study of meanings, A, the historical, and psychological study, and the classification of changes in the significant words or forms viewed as factors in linguistic development.
Gentlemen, I believe it is high time, even those who are in slumber and denial, to wake up to the alarming collapse of trust and confidence in the country and the social alienation which is most severe among our disenfranchised youth. As a party, we cannot ignore the breakdown of trust and confidence in Jamaica. Nor will I remain silent when the moral order is under siege and the social order in decay. The institutions which we created to promote good governance are all being castigated and undermined.
Castigated and undermined. The institutions of good governance and that they have implemented are being castigated and undermined. What does castigate mean? Castigated. Castigate means to subject to severe punishment. Damn. Reproof or criticism. The judge castigate the lawyers for a lack of preparation. Damn. Reprimand. Damn. Let's play that back.
Order is under siege and the social order in decay. The institutions which we created to promote good governance are all being castigated and undermined. Even when the Auditor General makes a report that billions and billions of dollars are unaccounted for, she finds herself under attack. We have to change course, and the PNP has to come to the rescue once again in order for us not to go over the precipice. I am sure that the PNP under Mark Golding will in clear and precise terms tell the country how we will ensure transparency and accountability in government, because that is our DNA in the PNP. To those who have sought to pervert history, I ask them, don't confuse your political opinion with the verdict of the people. For the people have spoken loudly and clearly in 93, in 97, and again in 2002. They logged on to progress because we did not forget the poor. Soon, the people will have the right to speak again. It is for us to tell them the story of the policies and programs that benefited the majority of our people, including our workers, the poor, the elderly, the children, and the most vulnerable. Ours is a record of solid achievements. There is no better way to commemorate the majestic century of the immortal Michael Manley than to celebrate a victory when the trumpet sounds and our people answer the call. It is no longer my prerogative to lead a misuse of party policy. There's a debate, budget debate coming up. I expect we'll hear from our Minister of Finance designate about the new economy, how we're going to boost innovation, productivity, and the creative arts. I expect to hear from the President when he speaks an outline of the policies in accordance with the fundamental tenets of the PNP. How we're going to get a government which is honest, accountable, and progressive. I have every confidence they will pursue with energy and determination the party's quest to fashion a safe, productive, and quality society. No one, and certainly the laborites, never forget the outcome when I was the man to fly the gate. Whether in 93, 97, and 2002. I know I'm no longer the one to call it, and I don't intend to indulge in prophecy, but I can still read the tea leaves, and the window is closing. I take note that the 48th meeting of heads in Barbados last week accepted an invitation from the government of Jamaica to hold the 49th meeting of heads in Montego Bay on July the 6th to the 8th. So, in what those of us who knew the hurricane poem, June may not be any longer too soon. And I would suggest, party leader, that you issue the order to saddle up, time all your candidates, mount the horses. Let's get ready for whatever that time may come. Thank you.
Well, there you have it, ladies and gentlemen, Mr. PJ Patterson. My goodness, I mean, you know, the way how this man commands respect whenever he speaks. You know, normally people wouldn't sit down and listen to somebody this long. But, you know, hey, when you're speaking so much facts and so much knowledge, and hey, you just have to, you know, you just have to take that all in. I just really want to hear, you know, the people responses in the comment section. I want you guys to go crazy. I want you guys, I want to have 1,000 comments in the comment section on this. All the labor, I would love to hear from the labor right them. Point out a lie that Mr. Patterson told with evidence. Please point out a lie he told. Alright? Stick to the facts. Please stick to the facts. Alright? Just please. Thank you kindly. Thank you kindly. Alright? What's the time come by, Andrew? Alright, here we go. Time for Mr. Mark Golden on that. Time to hear what Mr. Mark Golden had to say. And thank God he was brief, because this live stream is getting out of hand right now. So guys, let me take this dude off the screen. Do we need him on the screen? Yeah, I'm gonna take him off. I don't, you know, I know a lot of people don't like to see him. Lord have mercy. What did I do? What did I do? Oh no, what did I do? Okay, here we go. Let's hear what Mr. Golding has to say.
So with that being said, I invite you to the podium to make your presentation today.
We say, oh yes. Thank you, Madam Chairman. Former comrade leader, former Prime Minister, Most Honorable PJ Patterson. Regional Chair, Dennis Gordon. Outreach Chairman, Andre Hilton. My comrade parliamentary colleagues, members of the Shadow Cabinet, His Worship the Mayor of Kingston and St. Andrew, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, comrades all. What a tour de force we have had. PJ Patterson is really a national treasure. National treasure. And it is so important in this era where misinformation flies around cyberspace at alarming levels and speed, and where our opponents devote considerable effort to revise history in ways which seek to denigrate, understate, and otherwise misinform about the achievements and the performance of the People's National Party in the various iterations of government where we have led. almost as if they realize that if the truth is well understood, it will be obvious to the electorate where the right choice lies. And so I want to commend the Outreach Commission and the regional outreach committees for conceptualizing and implementing these two symposia in which our beloved former party leader and Prime Minister has had this opportunity to, as has been said, set the record straight, lest they forget. And he has done so with great distinction and persuasiveness. And sir, I know your birthday is coming up soon, and all I can say is that you are an example to us all of the power of acuity of mind, the ability to research and to deliver such persuasive content with such ease. And all I know is that you're going from strength to strength, sir. You really are. You really are. And I must tell you what a pleasure it is and how fortunate I feel that you are still so active and so generous with your time and your ideas. And I, for one, have benefited greatly from our interactions, and I look forward to that continuing long into the future. Comrades and friends, we are meeting at a time when Jamaica will be facing the polls in short order. I am pleased to say that your party has its 63 candidates in place. We have been focusing on the preparations for the elections which are coming. We have been strengthening, auditing, fine-tuning our organizations in the constituencies, and we have been making other preparations to ensure that when it comes, we are ready. I ask each and every one of us here, in keeping with
something happened right there with the actual stream.
Should find a way for Jamaica.
Yeah, something actually happened there. So
yeah, more importantly, for Jamaica.
Kim Green, what's up? We have Vernal Henry in the building. Wagwan, big up yourself. He said, Bolo, platform, Power Friday, blessings, no Bvrfam against you shall prosper. Keep up the good work. Kim on Jamaica. Kim on Green, may I tell you. We have Standard Service Limited call center. National Treasure, I pray that the good Lord give him long life. Comrade to the bone, Patrick. Angela Smith in our place. Alright, who else is here that me not see yet? Howard, big up yourself. Big up yourself, Howard. And Nora there in our place to Pat Brown, check out. They don't know. Big up everybody upon the live. And feel free to comment in the comment section. Just do so respectfully. I don't block nobody today. All the person who wanna talk foolishness, we make them go and talk. You know what I mean?
Later this year, each one of you can and should find a way to play a role in making that campaign successful, and I implore you all to do so. We are going to be taking the reins of government.
Where's the Marty G?
Of government, I implore you all to do so. We are going to be taking the reins of government. We are going to be taking the reins of government to do so. We are going to be taking the reins of government to do so. We are going to be taking the reins of government to do so. We are going to be taking the reins of government.
Hey, where comrade them there? Comrades, we don't know the future Prime Minister said.
A role in making.
Where is the emojis in the comment section? Where is the colors of the comrade them there?
That campaign successful, and I implore you all to do so. We are going to be taking the reins of government.
Where are the comrades?
In very challenging times, we have the world political order going through a process of rapid change, which has created great uncertainties as to how the future will play out. At times like these, we must rely on principle as our guide.
True.
And our party has always approached issues of international relations and foreign policy from the standpoint of principle. And we are also committed regionalists, and we see the necessity of tackling some of the emerging challenges on a collective basis, because unity is strength, and we are facing potential challenges that will require us all to pull together as a region to ensure justice prevails when attempts are made to knock us off course. In terms of our economy, Jamaica has achieved significantly debt sustainability through the sacrifices and fixity of purpose of the last 10 to 12 years. I, like others, am very proud of the leadership of Portia Simpson Miller and Dr. Peter David Phillips, who grasped that nettle when it was at its most challenging and deployed the political capital that existed at the time to ensure that we navigated very challenging reforms and high primary surpluses, which meant there wasn't a lot of money around to do other things, and stood by it because the future of our country depended on it. And this government inherited a situation where the heavy lifting had largely been done. The debt to GDP ratio had been brought down from the dizzy heights of over 140% to 115% in just 4 years through a combination of tight fiscal management and creative debt dynamic reorganization. In particular, the deal with the Venezuelan government when we bought back the Petrocaribe debt at less than 50 cents in the dollar.
Wow.
Having got the debt to GDP ratio down now to the high 60s, with the target ultimately in law of 60%, we realize that the future requires a different approach. Because even though our debt is no longer the heavy burden that it was, we are, as a nation, in a stagnant economy that is characterized by low GDP per capita levels, way below our peers. So the national wealth is much lower than it should be. We have low unemployment on the official statistics, but vast swathes of our workforce are unskilled and are employed in low-tech and low-wage jobs, where we have the second highest level of brain drain in the world, and where our balance of payments is absolutely dependent on the generosity of the diaspora in supporting Jamaican families through remittances.
Listen, I really want the people that is watching this premiere, I want you to rewind what he just said. I want you to write it down. And I want the Labour them to be honest. Leighton Campbell, big up. I want the Labourites to be honest. Kimon Green, me see you. Me see you talk about the PBC. Not even they know so that one. But I want the Labourites to be honest. What lie did Mark Golden tell a while ago? Yes, you paid off most of the debt. But we are in a stagnant economy. That's why you guys are telling us that it's technically a recession. It's not moving. We're not growing. Can we all agree on that? Yes, there's a low unemployment rate. But what kind of jobs do these people have that you consider employment? It's low-paying jobs. The workforce is unskilled. And the ones that are skilled, are bright, are leaving the country. Is that a recipe for prosperity? The Labourites, I'm asking you, is that a recipe for prosperity? Andrew Holness, Nigel Clark, Dr. Dana Morris Dix, Favour Williams, Marlon Morgan, Abka. Is that a recipe for prosperity. And when I say prosperity, I mean prosperity for all Jamaicans, not the few at the top that already have the money to expand their wealth. Where is the prosperity for the little and the middleman? Where is the dream story of a youth that live in the ghetto or a youth that live in the country, apply themselves at school, go through the education system, right, and pretty much took advantage of all the institutions and policies put in place by the government to make them become the best version of themselves and a productive, law-abiding citizen of Jamaica. You see, the government policies affect our crime levels. And I don't even want to go there in terms of what they're actually doing with crime. That's a whole other conversation. Let's continue.
We have to completely re-engineer our growth model, starting with energy, which is really the key element to a more productive economy. And I'm glad that I have with me Comrade Philip Hallwell, who is a man who always sees the big picture and the opportunities to deliver transformational change in his portfolios. Food security is going to be critical in the era that we're in and what is coming at us. The recent reports of the FAO indicate that 55% of Jamaicans are facing moderate to severe food insecurity, meaning that they are unable to have a balanced and nutritious diet, and many of them are underfed. We have to deal with that situation. And Jamaica is blessed with tremendous potential to produce food which is in demand here and abroad. And we need to focus on our agriculture and agro-industry and ensure the necessary inputs and support for our farmers are put in place so that we can achieve a much higher level of food security for our people. The education and health sectors are both characterized by a sense of crisis. Comrade Patterson outlined the situation in the healthcare sector, where if you have to interact with a public health facility and you need to be admitted, you are in a very perilous situation where you could be facing protracted delays in very uncomfortable conditions. And even though you may eventually get a bed, though there's no guarantee, when you have to deal with the costs of the diagnostic tests, because the equipment is largely not working in the public hospitals and this is being outsourced, and you have to purchase all the various medical inputs at tremendous costs, you realize that to be poor is really a crime in this country because of what our people have to go through. In education, we are a mixed bag. We have centers of excellence, institutions of excellence that are performing at levels comparable with anywhere else in the world. And yet we also have significant deposits of underachievement and underperformance, which are shown in the statistics that over 30% of the children leaving primary school and entering secondary school in Jamaica cannot read and write, cannot do basic arithmetic, and lack the facility for critical thinking. That is a recipe for national disaster, because those children enter secondary school without the basics, which the curriculum at secondary school level assumes that they have. There are no proper arrangements put in place to remediate that situation, and many of them end up leaving school with nothing to show for it. And their prospects in a highly competitive world are dim. And of course, we know the avenues that many of them feel compelled to pursue. And that is what is feeding our problems of high levels of violent crime.
Very well explained. I don't really need to add anything. 1 + 1 = 2. Understanding the issue is the first thing you have to do before you can actually, may have solutions. Gideon, big up. Paulette, big up. Right? And what Mr. Golding just explained is literally the issue that we're having right now in Jamaica. When you see, the Bible says that the devil find work for idle hands, It Do you know that, right? Well, guess what? If you, the government, don't actually find productive things and programs put in place for the youth to go, the youth that are ambitious, them want to buy them Mark X, them want to buy them Benz, them want to buy this and them want to buy that, them want to live the good life, or what they perceive to be the good life. This is the mindset of the Gen Z or the Gen Z. See? Well, why not set the country in a way where, hey, and this is just an example. Like as a YouTuber in Jamaica, you are restricted in, if you're living in Jamaica and your address on YouTube that you send to them is Jamaican, you are going to be limited in how you can earn in this space. The government of Jamaica, I believe, if they, put certain things in place, they can change that. Like, an example is our Prime Minister statutory declaration not being certified does not help. The powers that be that are in the United States is not going to give the Jamaican banking system that type of access to their financial system over there, where money is running through here on a frequent level, US dollars, because they don't trust the system. Because they know, you think they don't know what's going on? You think they don't know about SSL? You think they don't know about FinSac? You think they don't know about everything? You think they don't know about the people in Jamaica that have lost money from their accounts in certain banking institutions? That's happening on a regular level. Celestia said, my mother and father get one of the houses and I'm a big woman now, and that house bill make it bigger for the family. Which house? You mean, well, you must be talking about back in the day when the PMP did I give her the house them. I must that she had talk about. Because she said she a big woman now and her mother and father get one of the house them. Yeah, so hey, shout out to PMT for that. But let's continue.
We have to have a strong policy to remediate this situation in the early childhood and primary sectors. We have to deal with the realities in the secondary system. For those who are in it and are not at the levels that they need to be, we can bring them back up. And we have to deal with the financing of tertiary education in a way that makes education accessible to our people who need it most, especially those from low-income families.
Right.
Ladies and gentlemen, I'm not going to be making a big policy speech, but I just wanted to highlight the fact that we are in a new era, and an era which requires new solutions and new approaches. But we're up to the task, and we'll be doing it with clean hands and a clean heart, governing the country with integrity. And restoring trust and confidence in the political leadership of the country. A situation which is at the lowest ebb it has ever been, with a Prime Minister who has been under investigation by the Integrity Commission, can't have his integrity declaration certified, is suing the Integrity Commission, seeking to strike down Jamaica's anti-corruption laws, and there are 8 parliamentarians who are known to be under investigation for illicit enrichment and sitting in the Parliament. And of course, in any decent democracy, they would disclose that so that electors know who they are and whether they're seeking re-election.
Thank you.
So this is
in any decent democracy. You hear that, Andrew Holness? If your government they operated any integrity, you would have disclosed who the individuals are that have is under investigation for illicit enrichment. If you had any decency whatsoever, that is what your government would do. But it is what it is, man. It is what it. We see you, Andrew Holness, and the Jamaica Labour Party. We understand who you are. I know I do. I hope the people in my chat also understand, and I hope the labor rights them wake up. I hope God take the veil from over their eyes and they wake up in time. Alright, so God can have a sweeping victory in this next political process. Alright, I pray that the Most High God, the creator of the universe and of all things, has a sweeping victory in this next upcoming election. You understand?
We need help, Jesus.
It's a time when we will have to take these issues extremely seriously and ensure that we build back the trust and confidence in the democratic processes of Jamaica, because those processes are under threat, not only here, but across the world.
True.
And it is only through doing the right thing and using the power reposed in us to uplift our people and to use the resources that are available to us exclusive for the benefit of the people, that we will ensure that democracy survives and the freedoms that we enjoy will be prolonged into the future. Ladies and gentlemen, I have one main task tonight, and that is to introduce to you, we are in Region 3, and I wish to introduce to you all of our candidates who are going to run, other than those who are already members of Parliament. So I'm going to just need to borrow my phone though.
Alright, so ladies
to ensure
and
I don't
gentlemen,
leave anyone out, I have a list. And when I call their names, I'm going to ask them please to come up.
So right here, so now ladies and gentlemen, you know, he's gonna show the candidates that is not yet in Parliament that is gonna be a part of the team for the People's National Party. And while he's doing that, I think it's fitting that this audio be played.
The message me I deliver. You know what me deliver it? You know how much blog I listen, you know how much of them that can't? Half a million make them can put on them pot. If a one preacher make Jamaican dagger can yam food, I'm Mark Stewart. Led by Andre. But when I say Portland, me never call no name. But sure me can, me no call no fool. But me I tell some people, this year 2025, the plum line has been drawn. Who not dead and lose sleep. God want back Jamaica, one way or another. Jamaica belong to God. Lift your God bless in another church. If you're not lifting your hypocrite, if you don't love me right now, you're not supposed to there. Lift your hand and say, Eternal Father, bless our land, guide us with your mighty hand, keep us free from evil powers, be our life through countless powers. Lift your God bless hand and your hypocrite. Before God and all mankind, we pledge the love and loyalty of my heart, wisdom and courage of my the strength and vigor of my back in the service of my fellow. Where are they? Y'all can't go up. I promise to stand up for justice. Come like, don't forget, you're hypocrite, you forget the pledge. And that you're not loyal no more. You don't remember the pledge. I promise to stand up for justice, brotherhood and peace, to work diligently, to think creative, and give generous, so that Jamaica may. Under what? Under who? Under who? Under who? Jamaica under God. Jamaica under God. Jamaica under God. Jamaica under will increase in beauty, fellowship and prosperity. We will play our part in advancing the welfare of the whole human. I am giving you a warning.
God, no, this have to come to an end. This have to come to an end.
Then double rich, then triple rich, all of them a millionaire teacher. That's why yesterday have too much big talk. That's why yesterday I shoot them one another. That's why I shoot them one another. So I'm going for the Portmore people, them and I demand them to change up boundary for the state of power. But it not gonna work. It can't work. There is no way Portmore can be a parish and it do have nothing at all. And the people don't even stand. Let me tell you something. This can't work, government. Andrew, you have to take this. When I say you have to take back this, you have to take back this. And you can't call an election because you call you're done. So when and when you don't call you're done. If you call you're done and if you don't call you're done, so what you gonna do? You're there now, amigo. Take for yourself. You feel you know, pack your bag and go. Resign. Take for yourself your peaceful life. Go on with what you have, because we still gonna lock you up and you can't escape. No way you can't escape. Thief. Me say, as you go on the internet and type in Andrew name a thief to me. And the second thing will come up, oh God, Bandulu. What you say? Bandulu lie come up in a teacher squealing and me say I Andrew name. Boom. Thief. And lie come up. So Andrew is a thief and him is a liar and him is a big nothing but a dirty criminal. Andrew retired and you left the country and I feel your mama never will out to you and your father never, your two father never will out nothing to you. Right now I'm thinking Richard never work for them but never rotten millionaire. You understand? So what go on? And Jamaica people are broke. Teacher, this cannot work. Thief, criminal. FBI to come for them now. Wait, Mr. Bolt, call them. FBI, please, you know, come. The matter get worse. The matter get dread. FBI, you know, come down in Jamaica, come look what go on. The situation right. It's not pretty at all. Bad things are going on here. Dread things are going on here. Judgment on the people that want help. FBI, come help me. FBI, please, we are begging over the last time we were on the brink. FBI, to come. FBI, come. No wait. It get dread. And to take for yourself is a thief. Wicked and lie. What's real are you? We can't eat, we can't drink, we are so far down here. FBI, boy, call them. Help me call them, boy, tell them in our country. Try a big liar for it and give my money and make him trouble case for you. Because they have the money and SSL lock them. SSL nothing to nobody and nothing what none at all. Because I write the evidence there and the laptop them dodge off and thief. So boy, forget the money and the poor people don't forget back the money. Them is thief. Judgment, FBI to come, take them quick and fast. What, Mr. Call them, tear them down. You just, guess what, Mr.
Webley.
Patrick, you must be in a corner, because how shall we out, you know? How shall we out?
And you can see we have a decent gender balance up here. And we put a lot of effort in, you know, encouraged by our president of the women's movement and others to make sure that happened. And last but not least,
before I go to the last one, Patrick, you look on the big screen, you look on the future of the government. Andrew Holness and the rest of them, yeah man, them a get shub out in the corner there, so. You don't realize him get tucked in the corner. Yeah man, he man the way out, you know. Yeah man, the man the way out.
We have a seasoned politician, a man who has won a seat before which many thought we could never win, a man who has served in government in the same program dealing with land settlement and community upliftment for underprivileged areas, where he acquitted himself with aplomb, a former footballer and cricketer of distinction, and a man who hails from the great constituency of South St. Andrew, which I have the privilege to represent now, but who is going to be taken back home to the People's National Party, no other seat than West Central St. Andrew, which has a...
Hey, when I think Andrew is a look behind him in another picture, Virgin, are these FBI and them people that knock on the door, you know? Yeah man, I the investigator them and say, hello sir. We need to have a word, you see? Yeah man, and that's why I look behind him, you know. He can't look in front of him. If you look behind him. You know it go.
A long tradition of being in the column of the People's National Party, and where we see the opportunity to restore that tradition again. I bring to you Comrade Paul Buchanan. So comrades, there you have it. These are our candidates other than the ones who are already in Parliament. Myself, Comrade Philip, Comrade Tony, Comrade Angela, and who else? Comrade Julian. Thank you very much. So at this point, I would just say let us gather behind Comrade PJ. No?
PJ are there in the shadows, man. PJ no one there in the picture, man. I left for a full time now. I'm my father Banya.
My father Banya. My father Banya. My grandmother Banya. My grandmother Banya. I Banya.
What we do?
I Banya.
All comments. What we do?
My leader Banya. That's why I not live.
That's how we not live.
No, I not live.
See that?
He gave I a message.
What's the message?
To all those people.
Alright.
No love progress.
We have to love progress.
No love progress.
Loving progress.
Say the land lease. Say the two with land lease. Say the two with the pioneer war.
Where you put them with?
Two with the pioneer war. Two with Jamal.
With Jamal?
Two with Jamal. Say the two with free education. Two with free education.
Alright.
Equal pay for women.
That is it.
Equal pay for women. Two with the minimum wage.
With the what?
We don't have time, come.
No, big up the speaker lady, you understand? She's beautiful, by the way. Very nice voice, commanding voice, right? That is it, ladies and gentlemen. Let me know what you think about what the future Prime Minister had to say, Mr. Mark Golding. You understand? Alright, my good people. I really appreciate you guys. All the new subs, all the day ones. Big salute to y'all. Persons that catch the replay. Big salute to y'all. Sometimes the video go up and when I look at when it just finished, you know, I only see certain amount of people. We have only beautiful and handsome people over. Hey, that's how it's supposed to be. But in all seriousness, I really want to thank you guys for your continued support. Even the people that disagree with me, cause some of you guys that disagree with me, I see y'all in the comment section. You guys really watch the videos. You guys really watch the full of the videos. I pray that the Lord open up your eyes to the reality that He wants you to see, or the reality that it is, because the Father God knows best enough. If anybody on any side of the political aisle is trying to deceive the people, may God reveal it, no matter what side it is on. Is my wish, because at the end of the day, I am with the people, I am for the people, and I want the people to benefit from good or great leadership. And that's what we need, a leadership that is a leadership that fears God and you know, carry out God's will. You know what I'm saying? Like standing up and letting the world know that there's only two genders. And yeah, you know, that's how God made it, and that's how it is, and it is so. You feel me? But anyway, I gotta go, man. I haven't eaten, and now it's time for me to go take care of some chores, you know, around the house and stuff like that. And a premiere is gonna drop at 1 o'clock, so yeah, 20 minutes from now, and then another one at 2:30 or 2:45, and then another one around 5 o'clock, and another one later on tonight. Yo, you got premieres going all throughout the night, straight till 4 o'clock in the morning, man. Lord have mercy. Bless upon yourself. Have a wonderful, wonderful day. Alright, and see you guys later. I think I'll be going live later again, because on Friday, crazy stuff always happens. Alright, so big up. Look up.